Hi guys, I'm Marticore. My hair was not supposed to be this red. It's not staying. It looks fine, but it's not staying. You know how I always say that you can't possibly know everything about The Sims 2 and that there's always something to learn? The only bottom that this game has is Bottom Summer Dream. So for the last few months, I've been making a list of things I learned about The Sims 2 in the year of 2025 only. And I want to share them. Some of them might be very obvious to you. The beauty of this game is that you learn the most basic thing after 20 years of playing and you're like, how did I not know about this? But a lot of them are more detailed and harder to see, so that might be news to you. The first thing is something that I think I have a frail memory of from like 2004 or 5, but still I feel like I just found this out. You probably know that when you make Sims and casts, they have certain animations for certain personality traits, right? For example, when you make the Sim active, they kind of like jump run. Elders have a different animation for active. They do like this cute little dance, I absolutely love it. And I didn't find this out while making Sims. I saw it when I was using poses and animations from like modded objects to take screenshots for a thumbnail or something. Suddenly I was like, why do elders have a separate menu for the personality traits? Now I know. I probably didn't exactly know about this or didn't realize it because I don't make Sims that often, I don't create Sims that often. I prefer playing with pre-mades, you probably know this about me. But elders? I can't remember the last time I made an elder and actually paid attention to their personality. I feel like there was no way for me to know this. The next thing is, again, something I feel like I kinda knew, but never like really thought about it. I always knew the exterminator truck has a bug on it, like a cockroach, probably, because that's what they do. But I just recently realized that the cockroach is upside down, meaning dead. This is the kind of quirky humor of The Sims 2 that we will never get back. So now something a little less known, I think, because it's a very specific detail. Also about bugs. When you have the insect collection display hung at your house, you might notice bugs roaming around close to it. Sometimes, often at night, I think. They look almost exactly like cockroaches, but they are colorful. You can stomp on them and spray them just like standard roaches, but the difference is that they don't leave any trash behind, they just vanish, you don't have to clean them up. And also you don't really have to do that because they're harmless, they don't really do anything, and will disappear on their own. But all your insects collection will stay exactly the same, the bugs coming out are just a fun detail. Another very basic thing I found, I can't believe I didn't know it. It's like I feel so stupid. I found this out from your comments. For the longest time, I was sure that you couldn't change the name of the lot when Sims are living on this lot. But you guys taught me that there is actually an icon to do that. You just have to like go a tiny bit deeper to find it. The only exception is apartments, as with many things. In this case, you have to move Sims out to change the address. We know that Sims can go into aspiration failure when they're unhappy, when their aspiration bar is at the specific level of red, and that they do animations tied to their aspiration, either primary or secondary. Romance Sims have the sponge mop lover that they take out to battle their loneliness. So first of all, have you noticed that there are two genders of this mop? And second, it's actually based on the Sim's gender preference. So a straight male Sim will always take out the female mop. And if the Sim is bi, it's 50-50 for male or female to appear. It's such a small thing, but I adore it. At the golden badge of toy making, Sims can make the water fountain in the shape of an octopus, you know, it's really cute. It's like a fun sprinkler thing to play with. I did not know that this water fountain cleans dogs. They can play with it too and it replenishes their hygiene. Super useful. Gotta love them cross-pack features. I already have a modded object of a chew toy that like cleans teeth or something and also increases hygiene, but this is in-game. In general, the toys that they can make at higher levels are pretty incredible. Okay, so this next fun fact I almost forgot to put in this video. I learned this in July. The career reward for the culinary career is the chocolate factory, right? If your sim spills chocolate while using it, a toddler may autonomously eat it from the ground and have a particular behavior after. It's called Wonder, and it doesn't even have an icon, so it might be an unfinished feature, but it makes the toddler move around a lot and throw tantrums. Was this ever featured in any of those Sims 2 details videos? I'm not sure. Dogs can also drink the spilled chocolate, but nothing bad happens to them. It's just like a regular puddle. Which isn't very educational because in real life chocolate can seriously harm them. Never ever give chocolate to dogs. The next thing kind of broke my heart, but in a good way, if that makes sense. And only because I discovered it this year. When Sims play Marco Polo in the pool, for Marco in Simlish they say Timla, and for Polo they say Turno.
Timla! Turno!
So this results in Marco Polo being called Timle Turno. Tim was the senior producer of the game, a pretty important person in the game's development. And there are a few references to him in the game, you can try and find them. But this specific one I read about by accident on Sims Wiki. I can't even remember what I was reading about, what I was doing. Rest in peace, Tim. You will always be remembered by the greatest game of all time. I also noticed that while playing Marco Polo, Sims kind of cheat and sneak out of the pool and then jump back into it without using a ladder. This is the only instance where they can jump into the pool straight from the ground. Normally, if you don't have a ladder, they won't even get in. Okay, the last thing is a little bit more advanced. You have to go into the game files to get it, but stay with me. It changed my life. There is like a debugging feature that when you use the shortcut Shift-Control-L, it immediately reloads the family you're playing and goes back to the last time you saved. So technically you can just save before reloading and just reload the family to that exact point where you were, but without having to go back to the neighborhood and re-clicking the house. It just makes reloading the family a lot faster. It might not seem like the most useful thing in the world, but to me this is a game changer because you know me. I reload labors whenever my Sims are having a baby to get the perfect baby, and it might even take 30 reloads sometimes, so like this is everything to me. My muscle memory already knows that this is how we reload families now. So how do you do it? You need to edit the global props file. There is a guide for it on Sims Wiki, because it's exactly the same thing you have to do to get the hidden cheats like all menus, so the tutorial will be in the description. Keep in mind that this turns on testing cheats in your game at startup, so it will be enabled when you launch the game. If you're like me and you don't want testing cheats enabled at startup, you can type the false cheat for it in your user startup file and it will override it. So after doing the thing in global props and saving the file, you should now be able to use Shift-Control-L to reload the family. Check for yourself. And huge credit to Wolf Test Sims on Tumblr who found this out. And that's it. It wasn't really that much, but considering that this game is 21 years old, but this is all I learned about the game this year, not on purpose. I was not trying to learn it. Tell me which ones you knew and which ones you didn't, and what other things you learned about The Sims 2 this year, because we just constantly do, right? And you might blow my mind with something and I will learn another thing this year. You know, I still have a few days. To read a comment and be like, what? This is in the game? This never stops, so I will probably make a very similar video next year. And as always, thank you very much for watching this episode video, and see you in the next one. Bye. There are people here too. I've spent some time, several minutes, trying to get the Sims 2 logo on my shirt visible in the frame. Wasn't the easiest thing to do.